going on, everyone? So welcome to this Rokoko office hours. Just trying to start the streams off with something interesting. Well, got a little sweet photo of my pup. Yeah, this is a time, if you've never been to one of our live streams before, when we're just here, we're live. I'm Sam Lazarus, creative director for Rokoko, and we're just going to play around. We're going to make some motion capture, and as the title of the stream would suggest, today we're going back into Cinema4D. We're dropping out of Unreal Animation just for a little bit because we've been in there so much, and I just thought, we have a little Friday stream. We might as well do a little something fun and random and try and make a dance video or something like that. So I thought, one thing I love about Cinema4D are all the easy to use dynamics things, and so there's a really easy way to just generate something fun and interesting. And I had a little idea for a scene where maybe we'd start as like a low poly character, clap our hands, turn into a bunch of spheres or a bunch of hair, and just make something fun. And in the meantime, if anybody has any questions about Rokoko or anything like that, that's why I'm here. I'm in the chat, and ask away, and we'll go down whatever rabbit holes we want to. So I think we're just going to kind of jump right into it. It'll probably be a bit of a shorter stream. But yeah, let's get going. Let's jump into cinema. Well, before we jump into Cinema4D, we are going to make our motion capture. We haven't been making a ton of mocap on the stream, and I've been wanting to remedy that because I think it's always fun to see the suit in action. And speaking about that, we have a webinar that's going to be happening next week on Thursday of next week. You can check it out at rokoko.com. You should be able to find all the relevant information. Let's go. And yeah, there we go. So if you go to rokoko.com right now, we have this little banner at the top. We're going to do a webinar that's going to go over all that we know so far about Unreal 5.4 as we've been playing around in it. What's going on, Terabright? Any new products? Oh, I can't read. In the plans. Improving products is the plan right now. No reveals happening. We're going to have a little more information about our Android-based face capture helmet thing that we're going to be releasing maybe this summer. So I guess that's a new product. But other than that, just working on making the coil better, working on making the suit better, and, that sort of stuff. But if you want to know about new products, yeah, join our webinar. It's going to be next week on Thursday. And even if you aren't using Unreal, we do a live demo of the suit. We have a live chat. You can ask questions. And we always do giveaways, whether that's usually we do a discount for like everyone who attends. So if you're thinking about jumping in and buying a suit, it's great to attend, maybe snag a discount. We do raffles for, just by joining the webinar, your name is entered into a raffle. And so it's always fun. It's always a blast. And it's always interesting to just be there live and like testing. And, you can really see how the suit works, which is what we're about to do right now. So let's create a new, 240412, I believe. Yes, 12. Office hours C4D, and we're in Rokoko Studio, of course, right now, which is our motion capture software that's going to allow us to actually see what we're doing with our suit. And so let's jump into our suit and actually make some motion capture. So I'm going to adjust this guy a little bit. There we go. And yeah, I like to always jump into the suit from scratch so you can see kind of the whole process play out. But I've got here my Smart Suit Pro 2. So let's jump in. And I'm wearing like athleisure pants. I usually try to wear like shorts underneath the suit just because it's a little bit more comfortable. You don't want clothes bulking up underneath the suit, but you totally can wear something like joggers or, yoga pants or whatever. It just might be a little bit bulky, but we'll see. So again, I think one of the best things about our suit is that you can jump in like from zero, from not being in the suit at all, and then just a few minutes later you can actually be up and running, like making motion capture. So it's just nice as a single user, you know, to be able to do all that yourself and not have to worry about any cameras or anything. You know, our suit runs off of Wi-Fi, so you just need a good Wi-Fi network. I use a router that's close by my computer, so I don't have a lot of interference. And that's pretty much it. In my suit, ready to go. Got bad allergies, so I'm sorry if there's little sniffly sounds that I'm making every once in a while. Try and get away from the mic for those. And I've got my smart gloves here too. So we'll pop in my smart gloves. And then we just use a generic battery pack to power the suit. Ooh, Dan up north. Resources folder missing. Let me find that for you right now. Yeah, some of that might have moved recently. We got to update some links, perhaps. YouTube, Rokoko. But it should be in a couple of our other videos. So let's go. Yeah, so I would try this link, and I will try to update that. Although this is, I think, the video you're talking about. Rokoko resources. Download. Hold on, let's see here. Let's see if there's an issue here. Oh no, okay, yeah, I can download. So that should work. Let me know if that works. Let me know if not. Oh, golly. I'm so sorry about the sniffles. Okay. Let's throw on I got my dangling head strap here. But yeah, it takes a few minutes just to jump into your suit and start making stuff. And we're not going to be doing a ton of mocap unless there's things that people want to see. I can do some specific actions, but otherwise, I think I'm just going to kind of record what I have in my head, which is just like doing a little dance and then just clapping my hands. And then we'll use that clap to be the cut point for a dynamics simulation or something like that. So just got to repower my suit because my gloves weren't plugged in. Go off camera to blow my nose. Okay. So here we go. I plugged in, but obviously, so you know, this is all just working off of Wi-Fi again. And if I put in an actor profiles store your height measurements, some of your body measurements that help us get more accurate motion capture. I always recommend filling out the arm span measurement in particular, in addition to your height, because that will just make sure you'll get better accuracy for where your hands should be. And drag my suit onto my actor. Do a little calibration pose. There we go. We're good to go. Good to start making some motion capture. And yeah, I just love showing off how easy it is just to kind of get in and get creating just very quickly. So I was thinking for this one, we'll just have kind of like a little dancing and and then keep going, but it'll be a new dynamic simulation. So we're going to keep it pretty easy. And yeah, let's just record. What do we got here? You know, I don't know. I need more coffee today. Let's see what we got there. I like a little turnaround. I mean, this is pretty good. Right off the bat, I don't think we're gonna get too fancy when it comes to the motion capture, but this mocap looks great right away. And maybe I'll stay in my suit, and if anybody wants to see anything else, we can hop back in and take another look. Let's do one more where it's kind of a slow start. I don't know. My dancing feels a little bit, doesn't feel like it's my best stuff today, but I think we're just gonna go with it. That was pretty good. Okay. You know what? That's all we need. That was it. That was the whole shebang right there. So now we can, let's adjust this guy back. One day I'm going to have a perfectly set up camera, so I just have to do some sort of toggle and it'll just work perfectly. There we go. That's pretty good. I might need to go a little bit lower. Boom. Okay, so now let's jump in and actually, make something with this. I want to unplug my gloves and take off my suit, just the top half of my suit, because maybe we'll jump back in. Yeah, you can see it disconnected from Wi-Fi because I just unplugged my gloves and the battery. Great thing about, I love that we use generic battery packs because it means that I never have to worry about my suit running out of battery and then having to charge my suit. I just swap out a battery pack if I run out of power. Okay. So we can go through, and I think actually it might be good and kind of fun. Well, I don't know about fun, but certainly good. Let's go through and actually clean up this take here, because you can see we have a ton of foot contact that is going on throughout this clip. And while this looks pretty good right off the bat, I mean, especially for if you're working with dynamics and you really don't need foot contact to be that important, we will make all the motion capture better if we go in and actually clean up our foot contacts. The way that Rokoko works is that we do a lot of, we make a lot of assumptions about the rest of your body based on whether or not the program knows that your foot is in contact with the ground. And so foot contact is really important for Rokoko motion capture. And you can see everything up here, it looks really good. You know, green, again, is for the left foot, blue is for the right foot. And so this looks great. Boom. Even this, like that little touch is really good. And this is probably the first part where I'd want to make an adjustment. I think my foot comes up off the ground right here. So I think that this is actually supposed to be more like this. Yep, you can see it just looks, I mean, you know, again, this is like an Instagram video we're probably making, but all of this will make our motion capture better. So we might as well go in and actually try and make it look good. Let's move these back a little bit. You know, it really doesn't take that long, and it can have quite a marked effect on the end result. Boop. See, my foot came back up off the ground here, I think. Yep. And sometimes, like, I won't make changes. Like right here, I think my foot actually touches the ground right here, but it's not changing the motion capture, so I'm not even going to put in that foot contact. Here I probably will. You can see my foot. This all looks pretty good, I think, actually. Okay, right here, though, this foot comes up off the ground, and I want to free that up a little bit. Yeah. So this looks really good. A little bit of cleanup, and I think it looks much cleaner and much better, although, again, we're really not going to be seeing... You know, this is an Instagram video, so it doesn't really matter a ton, but it did improve our motion capture, and it's interesting just to go through the process just to show how it should be done. This looks really good. Pretty good dancing. Okay, but we're gonna go for clip 1. Which looks good right off the bat. Okay. So we're going to call this dance clip 01. And we're going to be doing all of our retargeting, I think, in Cinema4D, because that's what we're going to be working in today. And so we might as well do the actual retargeting in Cinema 2, which is the process of, you know, getting our motion capture onto a character. So I'm going to make this 24. We're going to be exporting a Mixamo character skeleton. And let's choose where we're going to export out to. Just made a new free pack of motion capture that'll be hitting our website pretty soon. Let's create a new project here. Yeah, we did a magic motion capture pack. 240412 office hours C4D. So that'll be coming out pretty soon, which is fun. We're gonna export right to our raw folder, export clips. Okay, so this is the character that we're gonna be using in Cinema4D. We're in Maya, so we don't need that. We want to go open up a new Cinema4D project and get right into it. Let's go to models, and I want to see if I already have I've got a low poly Sam. Which should be right here. And again, it's just gonna be like a fun Instagram-y video where I clap my hands and the music comes in or something, or the beat drops, and I don't know, something quick and easy. Just having a little fun today. So let's grab our character. And actually I'm gonna cancel that. And if we grab an FBX, we hold down Shift and we drag it into our project, it's gonna import it, and it's not going to cause us to open up a new project file. There we go. Looking good. And now let's go grab our motion capture. I'm also gonna make the FPS 24, and we're gonna check our scene scale. I like to just add a figure to my scene. You can see that my character is scaled correctly. Now we're gonna go get our motion capture. This is what we just exported from Rokoko Studio. And I have a whole tutorial on YouTube about how to do all this retargeting in Cinema4D and in Unreal and in every major software platform. So if you're curious about how we're going to be doing this and you want to see it, done a little bit slower, just go check out those tutorials on our YouTube channel, and they'll have everything that you need. Okay, so we've got our motion capture and we've got our character, and to do retargeting in Cinema4D, which again is the process of getting this mocap onto our character, what we're going to do is we are going to go to frame 0. We need both our character and our motion capture to be in a T pose. You can see that I have a couple keyframes on my character's skeleton. So I'm going to delete those keyframes, and the way that I'm going to do that, there's a keyframe on every single bone of my character, which is because I auto-rigged this character in Mixamo, and when you do that, it usually automatically adds some keyframes, which can be a little bit annoying. I've got this Select Children shortcut up here. You can also right-click and go to Select Children, but I'm going to select Children of my hips, which is going to be every bone in my joint chain. I'm going to go to Coordinates. I'm going to select all of my coordinates, right-click, Animation, Delete Track. And this just completely deleted any keyframes that might be on any of these joints, which is, in the transformer in the rotation, which is a really easy way I found to make mass changes to keyframes, for joints, because joint chains can be really heavy on your computer when you select all the bones in a skeleton and try and do changes in the timeline. It can make Cinema4D really start chugging. So I like to just select children and then delete them from here. I find that's the best way to do it. So one reason I did that was because I wanted to go in, and I'm just going to quickly change my character's thumb placement. If we put it more like this, it's going to be more matching. You can see that on my motion capture, my thumb is alongside my fingers. And so I'm just trying to match that position for my thumb on my character. And that will give me better accuracy for that thumb, because motion capture is copied in a way that is relative to the mocap's starting position. So that's why we need our motion capture and our character to be in a T pose, because they're matching poses. So when we copy all the data over, it's going to do it correctly, because it's all, again, relative to the initial position of our character in our mocap, which is a little confusing. But okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to go to rigging tags, character definition, open manager, extract skeleton. Because this is a Mixamo rigged character, it's going to extract very easily and properly on, and basically what this is we're telling Cinema4D which bone is which. So which bone of my character is the clavicle, the left clavicle? Well, it's the left shoulder. Bicep, it's the left arm, upper arm. forearm, left forearm. So this does this, if you just hit extract skeleton, it does it automatically if it's a Mixamo rigged character, which is why I like using Mixamo characters in Cinema. Cinema plays really well with Mixamo characters. And if we go to our motion capture, because we exported out a Mixamo skeleton, if we do the same thing, we go to rigging tags, character definition, open manager, extract skeleton, it's going to extract the skeleton for our motion capture automatically as well, just by hitting extract skeleton. So once we've done that, we've got two character definitions, one on our motion capture, one on our character. Now we can click on our characters, our Mixamo guys, character definition, create solver, and you can see source character here. And for source character, we're going to drag in the definition from our mocap. And then look at what we got. We've got everything retargeted onto our little character. And it looks really good. Easy peasy. Okay, so now what's happening here is basically my character's skeleton is referencing my motion capture. And you can see if we click on the hips of my character, there's no keyframes on this bone. And if we click on the hips of my motion capture, there are keyframes. And this goes for the spine, this goes for everything else between our character and our motion capture. Our motion capture is keyframed and our character is referencing those keyframes. But I don't want my character to be relying on my motion capture. I just want those keyframes to be baked into my character. So the way that I can do that is, again, select all the bones in my character's skeleton, and then we're going to go to Window Dope Sheet. And with all those bones selected, I'm going to go to Functions, Bake Objects. We're going to bake it for the length of of our timeline here. We don't want to create a copy, and we're going to hit OK. And this, oh, we crashed our cinema. Fun. Maybe there's a bug report, though. We could recover this. Let's try. Where is this again? See users. App. Data. Roaming. And max on. Sometimes you can recover those, and it's in the bug reports. Okay, let's open this up and see if we saved anything. Otherwise, we just recreate it. Not that bad. We haven't done that much in our scene yet. We didn't even get a chance to save it yet. Won't they make that mistake again? Love having a little background music, makes those silences not so terrible. Okay, don't send. Looks like everything came back. Yes. And it looked like it actually went through and baked them anyway. So what we tried to do crashed Cinema, but not before it actually did what we wanted it to do. So that's great. So at this point, let's go ahead and actually save. Dancing Sam Dynamic 01. Okay. Boot up Octane. Our lovely Octane here. And this looks good. And let's make a little scene quickly. So I'm going to just make a plane. And I'm going to make another plane. Just like this. And next we are going to sometimes for abstract backgrounds, I'll just make a cylinder. And let's give it some more segments. 60 segments. A little bit of a cap here. And then we back it up against our wall. Oop. And you kind of have an easy little background here. You know, and then we just make some random colors. Let's save. And here, let's do here. 4 color complementary. Sometimes when I'm just looking for colors, inspo, I'll just do something like this. So I'm just gonna pick 4 colors from like a complementary little flow. Like, boom, you know? Looks pretty good. Especially when Big Bread, what's going on? Seller, what's going on? You want to become a VFX artist but don't know how to get started, and from where? Well, if you're getting started from scratch, I would advise you to get into either Unreal or Blender, because they're both free and they're both some of the best. If you want to be... Blender is great to know, and what you should do is go to Blender, you type in Blender Donut into YouTube, and you do that tutorial, and that is how you get started to become a VFX artist. There's actually a real answer to that question, which is you type in Blender Donut, and you go do the classic Blender Donut tutorial, which is the tutorial everyone starts with in Blender, and it will teach you a lot about that software, and that's it. Yeah. You just go to blender.com, download Blender, then go to YouTube and do the donut tutorial. And that will get you on your way. And then you just do tutorials and copy them click for click, and it'll teach you. You know, that's how learned, essentially. But YouTube is your friend, and get used to struggling and being frustrated, because that is the life of a visual effects artist. Things breaking, and then eventually it all becomes muscle memory after a couple tutorials. Okay, here we go. So this looks pretty good though. And I'm gonna go to the Grayscale Gorilla Hub plus library. I just need to grab something for our floor. Let's see, how does this look? Pretty good. Nope, that does not look good. Ooh, black and yellow tweed. No. Gross. How about just some concrete? Yeah, concrete looks good. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, do you want to be a VFX artist in the industry? In like for Marvel movies? Because that's a whole other thing. I think though, I mean, it kind of depends on like whether or not you want to go to, a lot of those artists will go to school for it because it's kind of a different workflow. If you want to just start working on visual effects like today, you can go and just start playing around in Blender. Yeah, if you want to be working on like Marvel movies, then you kind of need to, a good way to do that is still to go and do the donut. Go download Blender, do the donut tutorial, and you'll play around with modeling, you'll play around with texturing, you'll play around with lighting, you'll play around with dynamics. It does everything. And so you can kind of see which of those things interests you the most. And then from there, you can like choose a discipline and try and do more modeling or do more texturing or lighting or photography. And then you specialize in something and you make things all the time and whenever you're not working at your day job, and then you build up a portfolio. And that's kind of, that's the path. Okay, let's add an H3RI. Looking cool. It is complicated, but the best way to learn is by doing. And it is amazing how available things are these days. Whether it's education, whether it's actual programs. If you want to be an animator, Maya costs lots and lots of money, although there's an indie subscription now for like $400 a year or something like that. But Blender has all these tools and the fundamentals don't change. So if you can learn everything in Blender, and a lot of those skills are all transferable to the other programs. And when you're working for Marvel or something, a lot of what they do is proprietary. So the only way to work with their tools is actually work at the companies. But yeah, I mean, literally download Blender, do the donut tutorial. You will have so much of a better idea of VFX in general after doing that if you're starting from scratch. But that is the way to get started. For sure. Okay. I'm gonna change this. Oops. I want him to be shiny. Looking much better there. And I'm gonna move this all over. Okay, and now I think we're ready to kind of play with some dynamics. So my idea basically was that here, boom, we would swap into a dynamics character. And I have a very simple way that we're going to do that, which is we are going to group our original character here. And we're going to make a copy of it. And right at this snap, we're going to switch between them. We might even just export both of them and then just do the cut in like Premiere or whatever. And then for our camera move, adding a camera. And I think what we'll do is here's where we want our change to happen. So I'm going to add a keyframe. Add another keyframe. Yeah, I mean, something bad could always happen, but I'm not worried about AI. I think that AI is gonna be fine. I wouldn't worry about AI replacing us. I would just worry about I think the thing that like, it's not worth being worried about AI. But what will happen is it will be harder to stand out, and so you just have to rely on your creativity. People, I think, will always be more interested in human-generated work than AI work. So I don't know. I'm not that worried about AI. But it is true that it's going to make it harder to stand out. So you'll just have to be more creative and have something to say, and the story that you're telling is going to matter more than ever. Or the art and the perspective that you have. But a good way to start either way is by doing that donut tutorial, because it will tell you if this, you might hate visual effects because it's not like always just making things look good. Mostly it's problem solving. It's not like, I think it can be less sexy than some people think it is. So if you do that donut tutorial, you'll really get an idea of what it's like to work in CG. Okay. So let's do the fun dynamics part now. And for that, we're going to save. And we're going to hide our original character. And we are going to... I mean, we're just going to have some fun with spheres, I think, is going to be what we're going to do. So let's create a sphere, create a cloner, and then we're going to clone onto our torso to start. And if we make... Yeah, every days are a great way to do it. Daryl's good. Daryl's... That's true. Just 5 minutes, just play around, create something that you hate, and then, yeah, try and do it reliably. But also, like, I just find, for me, it's just following tutorials. Am I gonna crash? Nope. Like, you can just follow tutorials to the letter. And that will give you a end result. I'm gonna make the gravity 0. And then this follow position just means that basically all these little spheres are gonna follow the zone that they're cloned onto. So let's make a bunch more of these. Let's make 1500. I think this just looks kind of cool. And then what if we made this head a collider? It's kind of just like a puffy jacket, which I really like. Maybe make them white and black. So if we add another... Oh, hold on. Go back to frame 0. Let's save. Let's add another sphere. Let's just make one white and one black. Oh, we're in the roughness. What if instead This is, I mean, I kind of like this right off the bat. So what I was thinking though initially was that, here, could we also maybe have it be like, so that at the impact point, we got like a little, so what happens if we go follow position 0? Excuse me. Let's try this. Now, what I'm So now's the fun part where you just start playing around. Yeah, I kind of like this though. I mean, this is very basic, but I was planning to do more, but I mean, what we could do is create another cloner for the legs and one for the head. Oop. Oh, I should have saved. Got a lot of... So that's 45. Okay. Oh, for the head one. Doesn't like this. Save. So cute. So let's bake all of these. And we'll see what it looks like. And then we might just kind of call it. And then basically in post, we'll just create a little cut and it will be a fun little, you know, Instagram video. I don't know. Okay, that's not going to work. We need these to follow way more. Okay, so what we need to do now then is actually create a MoGraph effector random. We're not going to randomize the position. We're going to randomize the scale slightly by 0.5. Then we need to change the, we got to clear the cache. We got to change this follow position. It's got to be way more. Whoa, why is it keyframed? Animation, delete track. Let's make it 5. And now let's bake that. You know, it's pretty good. Let's play it back. Okay, now I'm gonna add an camera tags. I'm gonna add a look at. Oh golly. Target tag. So the camera can follow my character. And then all we do is it's like this. And then on the snap, changes to my guy. Now, yeah, this looks great. I think we're gonna kind of call it here. Super easy little stream. I like the way that this turned out. You know? Just a fun little experiment. And of course, I mean, you know, as we said in the beginning, this is procedural in theory. I mean, we can change out any of these shapes. We could make them into a bunch of different things if we wanted. Again, we're just keeping it easy, but this is a really fun way to get a very dynamic effect without doing too much work. And it looks great. I'm actually going to re-simulate everything with a different collision size. Go to collision, change this down to 0, save, recache, because I want it to just be touching the floor a little bit better. Yeah, the suit does great though. Cool. Okay, everyone. Well, again, this was a weird Friday stream, so we're going to call it right there, I think. But thanks for tuning in. We'll be back on... No, next week we won't be around, again, because we have a free webinar that we're going to be doing. So sign up for that. You can win a suit. You could win gloves. You could win a new coil, maybe. You could win lots of different stuff. We do discounts, and we also usually have any new product announcements or whatever in those webinars. Again, I don't think we have really much to announce, but they're always a lot of fun, and you know, yeah, just come and hang out. And it's always a blast to see the suit really put through its paces to see what it can do. Okay, everyone. Well, with that, I think we're gonna call it. And thanks for tuning in. Have a good little weekend, and we'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye, all.